Welcome back. It's been a little while with any updates or anything on my workshop, but as you've seen, it's pretty much done. We're very well, we are and we aren't close. It's up and it's relatively airtight. We're just waiting on a roller door there, 13 foot wide, pedestrian door then beside it. So this has been a long time, a long time coming. Probably the guts of a year since I even started talking about it, and just, you know how it is with bad weather and waiting on people and stuff like that, but I'm so happy to see it finally done. Or like I keep saying, almost done. So the whole thing is 9 meters that way, so 27 feet, 17 meters that way, which is 51 feet, so call it 50 by 30. And if I remember right, I think it's 12 feet high, maybe more. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put conversions there in the screen for you. But it's a really nice big space. The Honda looks pretty small in it, but still takes up quite a bit of room, tucked into the corner. I could go another probably a foot to the right there if I really wanted to, and you could probably get 3 cars across there, but I don't think that'll ever happen. So the plan for it is really just like a workshop setup, really. I haven't decided where I'm going to put the lift. Obviously, it makes the most sense to put it right there, straight in from the door, so you just drive straight in and onto the lift, which obviously would make the most sense. The other option is to put it either right in the middle there, or maybe to the side, like right in front of it, within that bay there, if that makes sense. Well, I kind of like the idea of that, to be honest, but I have to double check the height of the lift I'm going for and the max height of the lift, because obviously there's no point having it there if it's going to stop, short of the roof. But again, I'm only a small person, so it mightn't be too big of a deal. But the other factor to keep in mind is that my brother, he works for a furniture company and he's makes bespoke stuff and things like that. He's setting up a small workshop in here as well. So the initial plan was to put his workshop kind of in a small boxed off area over there, about 10 or 12 foot this way, and then maybe, we haven't quite figured it out yet. And then I was going to have obviously the rest of the space, but I think, again, depending on where the lift goes, his space might maybe come along here, maybe come forward like that. I'm not really sure, but what we're going to do is find out the dimensions of the lift that I'm getting. I have the dimensions of the shed. I'll Google the dimensions of the Honda, and I'll Google the dimensions of a couple of other, there's a nice toolbox that I want to get, one that has a cabinet and overhead hanger things and stuff like that. I'll Google the dimensions of all of that stuff, and with the CAD software that my brother uses for work, we can kind of play around and place things here and place things there and see what kind of works best, because I don't want it to end up cluttered. I don't want to say, for argument's sake, have the Honda there, lift in the middle, a toolbox here, and then say my brother's area, and then I just don't want it to end up cluttered. I don't think it will, because once I have something set up tidy, I can keep it tidy, and my brother's the same way, keeps everything nice and tidy as well. So I guess we're just going to have to play around with it on CAD and see. But I'm very pleased to finally have the Honda in here. I missed that car so much, so it's nice to just drive it and move it around today. So I guess the next step is to pack up the wagon, start moving a few more things. Obviously, like I said, it doesn't have doors. I haven't even been in touch with the electrician to get lights done or to get power down here or anything like that. But for the time being, at least, I can get some of the stuff moved out of the existing shed, the one that you're used to seeing, which you can see the back of it just there. Next step is move more stuff out of the old shed. Alright, so everything is moved, or at least the majority of stuff anyway. The awkward stuff, like the shelves full of tiny things, and the boxes full of random stuff, and some of the bigger, bulkier stuff like the welder and the toolbox and all that other stuff, random boxes of parts and extra pieces and all that stuff. I've got my wheel collection there. The link below if you haven't seen the video about those. Some of the kids' stuff, the bikes, some of my wife's stuff. We moved the Honda over there just because there is a couple of big shows coming in the next few weeks, which I've applied for, so I leave that there just in case I do get into those, rather than having it back there and having to move everything to get it out again. All the stuff belonging to my dad is left there, and as I said, that'll go into another shed out in the yard area once the whole job is concreted and stuff out there. That's what that box is there. I'll probably be buying one of them too to put all of that stuff in at some point, but that won't be till probably summertime. So the next step, well, as I said, the old shed is pretty much gutted, aside from a couple of small things like bits of trim and stuff like that. That's easy, and take down the lights and stuff like that. I won't bore you with that stuff. There is a whole bunch of stuff in that shed right there on my cousin's property. There's parts for that thing there. I think there's 2 bonnets, there's 2 boot lids, there's an entire rear subframe and trailing arms for a disc brake conversion. There's loads of stuff. There's subframes, there's drive shafts, there's loads more stuff in that shed, but that's not getting done today. That can wait a little while longer. I had the electrician here this morning. He's a family friend, so he called this morning. We spoke about the plan to get power from the house down through the garden and down here, and a rough idea of kind of the layout of the place. So what we're going to do is have, as I said, my brother's section in that corner. We have a bunch of plugs in that corner for him. We'll probably have, say, a double plug there, a double plug there, or sorry, I know this perspective isn't great, but we'll have 2 plugs inside of that bay, 2 doubles, so 2 and 2, then probably 1 on that wall there, because my toolbox, I have one of these big modular things, will take up most of that space. Then probably, say, I don't know, another one there, maybe 1 over there, 1 in that bay, 1 that bay, something like that. And then I didn't really know what to do about lights, and I just asked him what he'd recommend, really, for if he's done similar stuff before. But what we've decided to go for is, as you can see, the place is divided essentially into 3 sections. So we'll have LED panel light there, 1 here, and then the same there, and then down there and down there. So there'll be 6 of them all together. I think he said they were, did he say 5 feet wide maybe? I can't remember, maybe I heard him wrong, but I think he said 5 feet wide. So he said, hopefully, depending on how his week goes, he said he'll either come himself or he'll get one of his lads to come over, and at the very least run the cables. What we're going to do is, say, drill a hole up through this and run the cables down. And as I said, me and my brother are going to panel off this whole place and have it really nice, so we can just decide where we want the plugs, drill a little hole and pull the cables through. Then when all that stuff is done, he'll come back and do all the plugs and the sockets and all that stuff as well. So that should be straightforward. Then I have marked out on the ground a rough idea of where the lift's going to go. I was going to bring it, I just took the dimensions of the car. I was going to start the car, there at the 3 foot, but I figured just that extra foot gives plenty of space there. I think it'll be fine. So that's where the end of the car would be, and it will go as far as this guy right here. So I guess what I need to do is, or the last thing I need to do, which I won't do today, but we'll get to it eventually, is figure out where exactly the lift should go. I guess common knowledge or common sense would suggest that the lift would go right in the middle of those dimensions. Do you know what I mean? So in theory, the middle of the lift would be where the jacking point, like in between the jacking points on the car. But I'll just watch a couple of videos and just see if there's any kind of tips and tricks to it, or if you've ever fit a lift or anything like that yourself, or have any tips or anything like that, by all means let me know. But that's kind of all the, I guess, the grunt work done, like the heavy moving and back and forth. I've done probably 50 trips in the last couple of days there with the wagon, loading stuff up with it. But at least, as I said, it's almost all done now. The majority is done, at least anyway. So with any luck, by the end, oh my goodness, by the end of this week, or maybe early next week, we won't have power here, but we'll have the lights in, we'll have cables run, and I can start paneling it all off. So that's about it for today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Something I will mention, just in case anybody that's here follows me on Instagram, not that it's a big deal. I changed my Instagram name. I don't know if any of you have ever seen, there's a company, I assume they're in China, I could be wrong, The company is called LC Sign, and the guy that does their videos, he's hilarious. He does all these different accents, and he always comes up and he says, "What's up, homie? It's Tony." And then goes off talking about whatever it is he's talking about, and he does like an Indian accent, English accent, American accent. He's hilarious. He's really funny. So I changed my Instagram to what's up, homie? It's Tony. Just in case you're looking for me. I wish was a little bit taller. The old one is still there, but it's just empty for the time being. I didn't bother putting anything else up on it. But yeah, so if you want to follow me, so what's up, homie? It's Tony, and you'll know why. You should look it up. Just put in LC Sign or at LC Sign into your Instagram. The guy is hilarious. He's really, really funny. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll be back in the next, I'd like to think fairly soon, with a part 2 about the electrical and paneling and maybe the lifting and stuff like that. But for now, that's it. Thanks again for watching. See you soon.